Welcome to the Clashing of Steel. So today I will talk about the pros and cons of the light artillery. So to start with, light artillery is an excellent tool. It can be excellently used, but the problem is it requires teamwork. And actually a lot of it. That can be considered as the first big problem. You have a team who does not know how to utilize you, and you are often left to defend for yourself while the sheeple fight. This can actually be a huge con, because if there's no one defending you, if you don't have a party member or a dedicated defender, you might be swept up in a matter of seconds. Just as you see, I'm playing one unit of infantry with my two light artilleries to not get bullied by opposing horsemen or anything like that. Personally, I think this is one of the best combos, because if you do big 3 light artilleries and you are left undefended, someone is still going to get close to you, even through all the stakes you deploy. Probably the smallest con is deploying your light artillery. This is a big problem when you misplace them. You need to redeploy them and refocus them, because you don't have such a huge range as the catapult. So you need to do the best you can with deploying it. And if you happen to be in a tight situation and your units might be a bit spread, or your troops might be a bit spread, you can easily accidentally deploy it in a wrong direction. Probably one of the biggest cons with the light artillery is that everybody wants to kill you. Everybody wants to destroy you. Horsemen, elephants, swordsmen, archers, everybody. One small con, or so to say small con, is that you are pretty much forced to buy stakes. There is no other form of defense that you can deploy as rapidly. There are also caltrops, but stakes are a lot more valuable when opposing horsemen want to go after you. This here is a simple example how just elephants want to take a piece out of me. They're willing to ignore my infantry and are just going after the light artillery. Because you're pretty much forced to buy stakes, you can't use basically other consumables. Yes, you can mix it up, buying stakes for 2 units and some form of bolts for the other. At least I'm playing Commander Sulla, so with whip I might be able to outrun the elephants. I might be able to. It isn't guaranteed. Now the last negative thing about the light artillery. This usually shouldn't be a problem if you know how to deploy yourself and where to deploy yourself. But there are certain obstacles where light artillery might not function that well, like shooting over a hill or down from a cliff. It might shoot into the hill, or it might not be able to shoot that much down from the cliff. So positioning yourself is rather important. Okay, so now the good side of the light artillery. First and foremost, the light artillery is highly mobile and with fast deployment. You can easily undeploy yourself, reposition and deploy once again, giving you chances of delays, tactical retreats and positioning yourself better to harass the opponents. If your team knows what to do, you can easily use light artillery to weaken your opponents, giving your team members a better chance to finish them off. Secondly, you slow your opponents. Every heavy or slow unit is going to hate you. Personally, I think that the light artillery's best use is against heavy formed infantry units. And not elephants, against whom they can actually work but require a lot more teamwork. Another good thing about the light artillery is that they have excellent rate of fire, and they have 3 whole light artillery units that shoot the bolts. So unlike the catapult, they can more aggressively harass the opponents. There aren't many pros to the light artillery side. But if the light artillery is defended, it can wreak serious havoc upon opponents. It has its uses as long as it can survive, as long as team is defending it, and as long as someone is scouting and not engaging head-on opponents, which the light artillery could weaken. The light artillery units probably require the most teamwork in the game. And even if you are successful with them, and you might do actually a lot of good, your scoreboard might tell you otherwise. Indeed, I am the second top player in my team. But look at my score. it mostly comes from decapping the opponents. I did some offense and got some defense, but most of that offense is from the stakes. And everything that isn't from the stakes is the minimal damage I did to the elephants and to the armored legionnaires. Light artillery is not bad, but it is hard to play, especially if your team is naive. Indeed, there are matches where you can turn it around, where you might actually do decent offense score instead of decapping, and so there are a lot of different factors and matches where you can end up being useful or useless. So in the end, the light artillery's pros can actually outweigh the cons, but there are too many different factors you can't be sure of. So playing it, I still suggest going defensive. Or better yet, find decent party members and try some proper tactics, because this unit, or these units, definitely need it. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.